So, once again, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about the passive voice. Okay, guys, very clear, perfect. First, let me ask you this question. How many voices do we have? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone answer this question? How many voices do we have? Someone says 5, someone says 4, you say 43. That's nice. 2. Okay. 2. 3. 25. Oh, really? Okay. 2, 2. Most of you, yeah, perfect. 2. We have 2. We don't have 43 voices, but we have 2 voices. What's mean? Okay, we will talk about that. Just wait for that. So, how many voices do we have? We have 2 voices in English, active and passive. Okay, I have another question. Today I'm going to ask you lots of questions, but make sure you are active and you interact. Because now we have 64, that's brilliant. If all of you just sit there and listen to me or watch me, you will learn nothing. Okay, the key is to interact and be active. Reflective now. So, I have another question. What is the active voice? Can you tell me what is the active voice? You can tell me by defining it or give me some examples, whatever you like. Imperative speech, no. That we can hear, It's not about like voice, like for example, voice messages, voicemail, not something like that. Okay. Active voice means when you say something to someone directly. Okay, could you elaborate? It's a common type in writing. For example, I washed my car. I washed my car. When someone does an action, very good. This is an example of the active voice. I washed my cars. I eat pizza. I don't know. I play video games. Now you say the car was washed by me. So here in the active voice, we have subject, verb, object. And let me tell you, maybe sometimes we don't have objects because it depends on a verb. If it's transitive, means it needs an object, or if intransitive, doesn't need an object, we can say that. But mostly subject, verb, object, and other parts, we can say we have an active sentence here. Sarah plays soccer. LeBron James is an NBA player. Simon Baker is an actor. Jack washes his car. Somebody stole my wallet. These are all sentences that we can use. Normally you say, I don't know, I played football, I played basketball, I study math, whatever. The subject is the doer and there is object, which is the opposite of subject. Yes, actually. Thank you for that. But, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions here. So what is the passive voice? Now you know the active voice. Okay, this is the active voice. What about the passive voice? Our main topic here. Can you tell me about it? Several people are typing. That's lovely. When the subject receives the action. Okay, good. You can also make some examples. Oh yeah, actually I forgot to tell you. If you can go to my website. Let me write it for you. English. You can download this PDF for free and many other PDFs there. You can just go and find actually those are PDFs. And also, this is the good thing. Actually, I've added this recently. Every week on Thursday, I will cover a grammar tips and topic there. You can check my website every Thursday to see a tip, we can say, for grammar. Yeah, actually, somehow like a newsletter. Yeah, actually. So, wallet is stolen after car was washed. Okay, we emphasize the object. POV, okay? The car was washed by me would be an example since here the subject is the main action here. Okay, thank you. Another PDF software, actually PDF annotator, the application. So, yes, here we start our lesson. When the subject is either a noun unimportant, let me highlight that, or so unknown, unimportant, or not mentioned, or when the focus, as our friend said, of the sentence is on the object. We have the structure here. For example, I don't know, my wallet was stolen. My car was stolen. I don't know, he was arrested. My car is being washed. Many more things. So we have passive in simple tenses. We use object. Modal verb actually is optional. If we want, we can use it. Am is are if it's past was were, plus the third form or the past participle form of the verb. For example, we say go, went, gone. We work with gone. And you can use by subject. We call it the agent. That's optional. You can use it or you can just forget that. It depends on you. For example, I can say, my car was stolen. Was stolen. I can leave that. Passive in perfect tenses. Again, we use have been or has been or had been if it's past perfect. I can say, for example, Jack has been fired, and I can leave that. Now we have be being, like is being, were being, was being, had been being, have been being. I can say again, my car is being washed by Jack, the person who just got fired. So my car is being washed by Jack. These are some examples of the structures. Let's see some examples here. The pizza is eaten by David. My car was stolen last night. A mistake was made. We are invited to a party. Her bag had been stolen before we arrived. Okay? And anytime you have questions, feel free to ask. Oh, that's bad news. Oh, yeah, your mobile already charged up. Okay. So, let's move on. I'm using mobile. Okay. 3 reasons. This is a good point. 3 reasons why we use the passive verb. Okay, maybe you're saying, okay, I learned the structures here and so on. But why should I use this grammar topic? There are 3 main reasons. Firstly, we don't know the subject. Someone stole your car. Do you know him? No, of course. So you don't know. You have no idea who stole it. Say, my car was stolen. Because you don't know the subject. Secondly, the subject is not important even though you know it. Or maybe you don't know it. It doesn't matter. But it's not important. For example, a movie like The Batman, for example. It was directed by, for example, Nolan. I don't really know. So here you're talking about the movie, Batman. You don't care who directed it. Maybe you know him, maybe you don't know him, but you don't really care. You're talking about the movie itself. So you can use the Batman actually and talk about it, not the director. This is good. When we want to avoid the responsibility we were given and or we don't want others to know about the subject. This is a bit advanced. For example, you're all from different countries. Imagine you're all Christopher Nolan, thank you. You are all presidents. We can imagine that at least. You are president of your country and you make a mistake. Millions or let's say billions of dollars are lost because of your mistake. So would you come to the press conference and say, I made a mistake? Of course not if you're looking for the next term. So you would say a mistake was made. Meaning that someone made this mistake, but who? We don't know, or maybe it's not important. The lesson was given by a great teacher. Yeah, thank you. We can say that. So here the focus is on the lesson. Maybe we know the teacher, maybe we don't know the teacher. We don't really care about this. We're talking about and focusing on the lesson itself. So these are the reasons. But generally, in the passive voice, the focus is on the object of the active sentence. This is important. For example, David washed the car yesterday. So David is the subject. This is the verb. This is the object. Now we have it in the passive voice. Don't say this is the object. That's wrong. This is the subject. Actually, the car is the object of this sentence. In the new sentence, we have the car as our subject. was washed yesterday by David. We call him the agent or indirect object or just object. So we change a position, but they get new roles. Okay, this is actually a common problem, that common mistake that some students make that. So subject is David, object is the car. Another good point here. Let me ask you a question. Can we use this topic, the passive voice, with all verbs? Is it okay? Is it possible that we use this grammar topic, the passive voice, with all verbs? Please let me know. Imagine how many verbs we have in English. Can we use it with all of them? Please let me know. Type it in the chat. Can say yes. I don't think so. Maybe yes. Imagine how many verbs we have. For example, asleep. Okay, let's say asleep. How can you make a passive sentence with asleep? Can you? Is it possible? You can't. Thank you, Kuba. No, exactly, Claude. So in English, we have two types of verbs actually: transitive and intransitive. Well, some verbs are intransitive, meaning that they do need an object, while others don't need an object. So they are called intransitive. For example, eat. So, what do you eat? I eat pizza. I eat, I don't know, a hamburger. So what do you eat? A hamburger or pizza. What about asleep? I sleep 8 hours. What do you sleep? Does it make sense? What do you sleep? Of course not. So we cannot say that. So we cannot make passive sentences with intransitive verbs because there's no object to focus on. You have no object. So what do you want to focus on? Therefore, we cannot. Let's take a look at some transitive verbs. Like eat, I ate the sandwich. You can ask this question: What did you? The transitive verb. If you have an answer, your verb is transitive. If you don't have, it's intransitive. What did you eat? The sandwich. She wrote a letter. What did she write? Or it depends on the tense. It can be actually check. What did she write? She wrote a letter. He threw the ball. What did he throw? The ball. We read or read if it's past the book. What did you read? The book. Cook again. Loved again. Painted. Sang. Past of sing. Bought a new car. Played a game and so on. What about this? Walk. He walked to the store. Can I say what did he walk? No. She laughed at the joke. What did she laugh? No. Maybe you're saying, okay, we can say what did she laugh at? Oh, that's something else. You're saying different things. I'm talking about without any kind of preposition. So they slept on the couch. What did they sleep? Nothing. He cried after the movie. Nothing. She ran. She swims. She sings, and something like that. But take a look at the verb ran. Do you think we can? Do you think it can be both transitive and intransitive? The verb run. Is it possible? What happened with the share screen? What do you mean? Great professor, thank you very much. I go to Canada for vacation. Oh, that's nice. So in intransitive verbs, you don't have an object. Exactly. That's why we call it intransitive. We don't have objects. Is this correct? The city is visited by many people from around the world. The city is visited. You can say the city is being visited or the city is visited by many people from around the world. Yes? Oh, okay. Did he walk to the store? That's something else. You're asking with do, does, did. I'm talking with WH. What? If you can answer this, what did you walk? Then it's a transitive verb. We cannot, therefore it's intransitive. So, what about this? What about run? Can we use run as a transitive verb too? What do you think? Run. Is it possible or no? Let me know in the chat. And it's okay if you're wrong. You're just reflecting your opinion, so don't worry. Just type down whatever you think. This country is run by Biden. Uh-huh. Okay, okay. What does it mean? It means like Biden is running. For example, he runs every morning. Maybe yes, the protocol was ran. Uh-huh. So we have run, ran. Uh-huh. Yes. So what about that? We have run, run, run. For the past participle, we use run. So if we say here, the verb run, if we mean as launching, managing, administrating, like Biden you said, controlling or something, then it's transitive. I run a company. What do you run? A company. She runs multiple companies. Multiple companies are run by her. Multiple companies means lots of companies are run by her. So it depends. If it means sprinting, jogging, walking fast, then no, it's intransitive. But if we talk about lunching, managing, administrating, then it's transitive. Okay? Great. Now let's just stop this. Before we get to conjugation, let's just stop. I want you, every one of you, we have 42. So 42 sentences. Please start making your own sentences and send it in the chat. Anything that could be, I don't know, funny sentences, real sentences, fake sentences, doesn't matter. Just try to make your sentences about the passive voice, some examples, some sentences, and send it in the chat. So let's see if we got this. And everybody here, that's great. Run a race. Kaisak and others are typing, that's lovely. We are asked to make sentences on this topic. Perfect, Kaisak, that's great. I was threatened by my dog. Okay, we can say that, yeah. Any more sentences? Vex is typing too. Vex, actually. Cars are made in Japan. Yes, that's good. Okay, Kaisak, the last one too. We can move on. We are being corrected if there is mistake made by us. We are being corrected if there are mistakes. It's better, made by us. That's good. Thank you, Kaisak. Others are typing too. Okay, the car is driven by a drunk. Okay, okay. Driven by a drunk. Okay, we can say that. Jack. Conjugation. Let's talk about the verb be. So, it's explained in how and when shall be used in different styles. We have simple tenses like present simple, past simple, future simple. We use am is are for present, was verb for past, and be for future. Future. My wallet was stolen. My car is washed. They were killed. They will be, I don't know, arrested, something like that. We have perfect tenses like past perfect, present perfect, and so on. We use have been, has been, had been, or will have been for future perfect. It has been solved. You have been fired. We had been sentenced to death. Or the project will have been done by June. We can say that. I didn't actually mention future because it was tailored for intermediate students, but I'm just telling you because we have some advanced students here. Continuous tenses like present continuous, past continuous, we use is being, are being, was being, and so on. The car is being washed. We talk about the duration, the period of time you're focusing on. Soldiers are being killed. Imagine right now, like there is a war, ongoing war, and you say soldiers are being killed. You're talking about the process, the period of time that you're fighting, you're getting killed, and you're killing other soldiers. And we have perfect continuous tenses, like past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous. We use have been being, has been being, will have been being for future. The car has been being repaired since last morning. The dishes have been being washed by the machine for an hour. We can also call them, actually we have dishwasher to wash the dishes, so we can say that too. So this is about the use of be. Okay, right now we just said about was, there, it has been sold, you have been fired. These are all affirmative sentences. What about if you want to talk about negative? Hmm? That's pretty easy. We simply add not to the verb be. So as to means in order to make our passive sentences negative. For example, the car is washed. The car isn't washed. But let me ask you a question before that. The car is washed or washed? What is the pronunciation for washed? What is the pronunciation? Is it with T or with D? I mean, washed or washed? Which one? Please let me know. D. Oh, so, too many news messages here. Maybe yes. The protocol, we are asked, yes. Thank you. Hello, Price. How are you? R is did. Yeah. Sentences are sent. Very good. So, all of you are saying D. Okay, do we have anyone who says T? Vax is T, but he uses a question mark. So, like, T, Kaiser. So, actually, let me tell you. When we have regulars, that's important. Regular main verbs which get ed that ends in sh sound, ch sound, se sound, a b sound. We can say k sound and fe sound. So, for example, wash. We say washed, work, worked, ask, asked, or I don't know. For example, rob, robbed. The bank was robbed. Laugh. I was laughed. I mean, they laughed at me. Many more things. Like che, we can say watched. And for se, I don't remember actually. But we have it. So that should be actually regular. For example, teach, past of it is taught. Okay? This is not our point. Yes, we say taught, but that's not our point here. We just talk about regular one, means to get ed. So the car is washed. The car isn't washed. The dishes have been being washed. The dishes haven't. So here, we change it. We change have been to haven't been being washed. Actually, if you want to get it right, the first verb you see, the first, it can be auxiliary or actually main verb. The first verb you see, you add the not there. We were invited. We weren't invited. When we have modal verbs in our passive sentences, we just negate the modal verb. It's very easy. Should be, shouldn't be, or should not be. So here, but when don't have modal verb, we negate the verb be. For example, he should be killed. He should be killed. He shouldn't be killed. Okay? We can say that. For example, the car should be washed. What does it mean? ASAP. What is it? What's the meaning of ASAP? Do you know that? As soon as possible. We call it ASAP or ASAP mostly. Or ASAP. We don't normally say. We say ASAP or ASAP. Means as soon as possible. Yeah, the car shouldn't be washed. ASAP. They will be sentenced to death. They won't be sentenced to death. The class might be postponed. The class mightn't or might not be postponed. Actually, mightn't is no longer useful. Is no longer common in English. But we have some contracted forms of modal verbs like shall not, could be shan't. I don't know, may not, mayn't, mightn't. But we don't use it anymore. That's like old English. So we say might not be. Like I am not. We can't say I amn't. We say I am not. But we talked about affirmative or positive and negative sentences. What if you want to ask some questions in passive voice? So, in order to make questions, we either have a modal verb or we don't have it. So if we have modal verbs, we make questions with the modal verb. If we don't have modal verbs, we make question with the verb be. For example, the car should be washed now. Okay. Do we have a modal verb? Yes. What is it? Should. So bring it here. Should the car be washed now? My wallet was stolen. Here was my wallet. Here we change it because we change it to your. It's actually another point of view. So was your wallet stolen, and so on. Okay. Now I'm asking you to make questions in passive. Please write like one question in the passive voice. For example, our friend Kaiser says, "Have the classes ever been delayed?" Have the classes ever been delayed? We can say that. Yes. Is it correct? Yes. When was your wallet stolen? Yeah, you can add double each question to ask more. Has. Actually, it says classes, so that's plural. We use have. If you say class, you can say has. When is this class conducted? When is or when was the class conducted? Or the mouse was ran. Run. Ran. Actually, we have run, ran, run. The past participle is run. Vex. Was your mouse ran? We can say. We can say that. Okay, good. Sometimes it's obvious. So, for example, I asked you this question. For example, you cross a red light. It's red light, you're driving, but you don't care. You ignore it. You just pass. A police officer pulls you over, means asks you to, for example, stop the car, and he gives you a ticket. Or we can say he fines you. So, you say, I was fined for crossing a red light. Do we really need to say, I was fined for crossing a red light by a police officer? Let me write it here. I was fined for crossing a red light by a police officer. Is it really necessary to say by the police officer? It's wrong. Yeah, actually, I didn't get the point. The mouse was wrong. So, I was fined for crossing a red light by a police officer. Is it really necessary? If we don't say by a police officer, our sentence is not, about the meaning, semantically correct. Scofield and others are typing. Okay. Please let me know. Several people, that's good. Not necessary, as only. Thank you very much, the real dog. So, yes, pretty obvious. It's a basic rule. So, no need to mention the officer. Perfect, perfect. Because the only person who can find you is a police officer. A mechanic cannot find you. A doctor cannot find you. A teacher cannot find you for crossing a red light. Because we already know, it's their job to find. Exactly, exactly. So I don't want to say ridiculous, but it's not really okay to say I was fined for crossing a red light by a police officer because we know that. So sometimes in passive sentences, it's obvious who the subject is or what the subject is. We will see because that subject is the only person or thing that can do the action. For example, I said only a police officer can find drivers. The menu has been brought. Only a waiter or waitress brings the menu. I don't know, a doctor would never do that. A police officer would never do that. But sometimes it's not clear. The car is now fixed. Who fixed it? Maybe your father fixed it. Maybe you fixed it yourself. Maybe you had a mechanic fix it. That's causative. The grammar. We talked about that. Maybe you had a mechanic fix it. Maybe, I don't know, your neighbor, your teacher, your friend. So we cannot say exactly who did this. The room has been cleaned. Who cleaned it? Maybe the servant, maybe I don't know, maybe you cleaned it yourself, maybe your mother, maybe your sister, whoever. The clothes are washed. And here we can say who or what. Maybe someone washed them, or maybe a machine, like washing machine, washed them. So it depends. But sometimes it's not obvious. To make it better, to make it more obvious or clear, we can say by someone. But sometimes pretty obvious. It's pointless and meaningless to say, to mention the agent there. The topic above is mentioned when we do care about the subject. You know, number two of the reasons when you don't care, when it's not important, you forget that. If it's important and if it's not obvious, then you can mention it. Okay? And the last part, then we will have some exercises to do. Let me see if you have any questions. No questions, good. We have something we call it get passive in English. So we talked about be, like I am, he was, they had been, something like this. So the verb get can be used instead of the verb be, if and only if our next verb is active. What do I mean by that? We have action verbs. I mean action verb by active. So, for example, imagine, or realize, or love, or hate. We cannot use ing or gerunds. We cannot say, for example, I'm imagining, or for example, I'm loving, I'm hating you. Mostly, we cannot say I'm hating you. That because of that, we can only use active or action verbs with get passive. So we cannot use get passive with a stative. Actually, this has many names like a stative verbs, non-action verbs, non-progressive verbs, non-continuous verbs, generally, so as to make passive sentences. Actually, this structure does not make sense and it's not used in English. We can only use get passive to talk about a negative or undesirable event. We can also use reflexive pronouns to indicate the subject is partly responsible for the event. That's interesting. For example, the car got washed by the mechanic yesterday. The valet got stolen. She got fired. We hear this a lot. I got fired. We don't say I was fired. Normally we say I got fired. Why? Because of this undesirable event. We don't like that. No one likes to get fired. So we say I got fired. They got themselves killed by insulting the king. Here we have actually a part of causatives here, but they got themselves reflexive pronouns. It means the reason they got killed was that they insulted the king, so they were partly or mostly responsible for what happened, for their death. This one. What you went through cannot be imagined. Here we cannot say get because imagine is actually a stative verb, so we cannot say get imagined. Cannot be. It means we cannot imagine what happened to you, something like that. But let me ask you a question. It can be good, actually, recall to that. What about the verb have? Is it a stative verb or is it action verb? Can you tell me? Is it a stative or is it action? Which one? Stative, action. Okay. Anyone else? We have 35 here. R. Silva and Ozan is stative. Both. Okay, so Jack, could you elaborate? Could you tell us why you said both? Why? Why both? Jack is typing. That's good. Let's see what he writes. And if he's having his dinner. Okay, what does it mean? Everybody, what does it mean? He is having his dinner. If you want to write it in other words, what verb would you choose for it? He's having. Depends on the situation, I think. Okay, like what kind of situation? Ozan Kurt. So even Erin Price is typing. Okay. He's eating his dinner. Is it correct? Okay, that's correct. But I have a question. If you want to reinterpret this sentence or write it in other words, what verb would you choose instead of have dinner? Can we say he's eating his dinner? Just like Price said. Is it okay? For example, he said depends. This is one of the situations. Exactly. He's eating his dinner. So here, have means it. What about this? I'm having a shower. I'm having a shower. Here it means I'm taking a shower. So in these situations, yes, but I say I have a dog, I have a cat, I have a car, I have a house, I have an iPhone, these kind of things. So we can say it's about a steady word. Okay. But let's get deeper into the agent at the last, actually we have more. So let's get deeper into the agent. The agent is the indirect object, or we say by subject, by Jack, by him, by, I don't know, David. We call him the agent, or the indirect object, or by subject. So it can be a pronoun, a name, or a noun clause. The car has been fixed by a group of mechanics who work for free. You see that? That's too long, right? A group of mechanics who work for free. This is a noun clause. The flowers are watered by Jack. This is a name. The room is cleaned by him, a pronoun. But I have a question. Can anyone tell me what a clause is? What is a clause? What is the definition of a clause? I'm having breakfast. Yeah, perfect. So is it steady or active? Depends on meaning. Perfect. What's your name? Claude. So we can say both. It depends on the situation. If it means eating or taking or something like that, that can be active. But if it means like owning something or possession, like you have a cat, that's stative. So what is a clause? Does anyone know here? What is a clause? I mean, we have clause, we have sentence, we have phrase, a sentence. Okay, then what's the difference between a sentence and a clause? What's the difference? Claude. If both of them mean the same, why do we have two different things with the same meaning? Aaron is also typing. Okay, let's wait for him. And Boo. Clause that join two sentences. So you mean a clause that join two sentences? Okay, anyone else? Okay, so let me tell you. Vax is typing with verb. That's a bit close. Shivin or Shivin is typing too. Clause form sentence. Okay, let me tell you somehow. Okay, and price. Subject, price, predicate, a group of words. This is a bit close. So, actually, a clause consists of a subject and a verb. We can say that's a clause. Sometimes an object. Why? It depends on if it's transitive or intransitive. We've just talked about that. So subject plus verb and plus object. So we can say that's a clause. For example here, a group of mechanics, subject, who work for free. Work, a group of mechanics. So we have a clause here. But sentence, some clauses, we call them independent clauses. Yes, that can play the role of a sentence. That can be a sentence. But some of them, we call them dependent, they can't. For example, the person who works here. The person who works here, this is a clause. We have the person, we have works, everything. But if I say the person who works here, so you're waiting, you're expecting me to continue. The person who works here, what? So it cannot be a sentence, definitely. But I can say the car has been fixed. The car has been fixed. I can say that. That's an independent clause. So we have different clauses here. A group of words, yes. And the last part, I think, are uses. Well, scientific articles. Mostly, if your major is biology or something like that, you see that say oxygen is consumed during the process of respiration in animals and humans. Oxygen is consumed. Chlorophyll is used by plants during the process of photosynthesis to produce glucose, something like that. So, in scientific articles, we can see that. Mostly we use it. Newspaper. Suspect arrested in connection to murder of local business owner. Maybe you read that the title of news or breaking news, you see that. Suspect arrested. Here you say, okay, what about B? We don't have B here. Suspect arrested? Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. They try to make it as short as possible. Because as a title, it shouldn't be long. It should be short enough to get your attention and give you an overview of the article. So, suspect, it means suspect got arrested. We say suspect arrested. Or victim identified. It means victim is. The victim is identified. So, victim identified in homicide investigation. Police org, public for information. Org means like asks. Something like that. So, in newspapers, scientific articles, we can see that. But here we have many examples that if you would like to have this PDF and read all these examples, you should go to my website, englishwithnimafar.com, and you can, in the PDFs page, you can download this PDF and many more PDFs for free. But now it's time I send you, is known that, he is known, yes, he's known as a person. Or this city is known as, for example, or is famous for. And now let me send you some exercises to do it together. Alright, please, let's answer these questions together. Fill in the blanks. Okay. My car, number 1, was stolen last night. Please write the answer. Type down the correct answer. My car was stolen. Was. What about Cuba? So yes, the answer is was. My car was stolen. Thank you. Next one. Was, yes. A mistake made recently. You remember I said you are the president of your country and you make a mistake? You don't want to ruin your reputation for the next term? So was. A mistake has been is okay too. Has been. But normally was. It depends on your scenario. What about next one? The bank, when the police arrived. Remember, be advised, we have 3 blanks. So you should fill it with 3 words. The bank, when the police arrived. Has been what? Has been stolen. So we normally don't steal the bank. We can say steal from the bank. But we say rob. Robbed here. The bank has been robbed. Has been robbed. The project will by June. The project will by June. What is the answer here? The project, let me send it again. You don't need to scroll up anymore. Number 4, the project will done by June. Be careful with by here. It represents a grammar topic, a tense in the future. No. We have 2. Will has, no, we don't have will has. Will have be. Will have be. No. We don't have will have be. You need to change something, Claude. That's future perfect. If you would like to know. So the project will. No one knows? Okay. Will have been. The project will have been, not be. Will have been done by June. Like, I will have done the project by June, so the project will have been done by June. A dead body found near the lake earlier this morning. Number 5. What is the answer? A dead body. A dead body was found. We can say that. I found a dead body. So a dead body was found. Had been found, actually, because we don't have any more past actions, finished actions after that, it's pointless to use that. Not joke, okay? 6. Detectives are investigating the video footage like CCTV. We hope the hostage takers blank arrested as soon as possible. You have more than one answer. Aha, get arrested. We hope the hostage takers get arrested ASAP or as soon as possible. Okay, what about this? Correct the wrong sentences. Actually, some sentences here, or mostly all of them, are wrong. You need to change them and fix them. 7. I am offered a job in HR, means Human Resources, a day ago. What is the problem here? Was offered. Aha, I was offered the job. Perfect. Because we say a day ago, we're talking about a past action. So I was offered. Perfect. My bag had been stolen earlier this morning when I was on the bus. First, is it okay? Is it correct? Maybe it's correct. I don't know. You should tell me. If it's correct, maybe tell me. My bag has been stolen. Has been okay. Why? Why can't we say had been stolen? What's the problem? What's wrong with it? Why can't I just say my bag had been stolen earlier this morning when I was on a bus? What is the problem? Can anyone elaborate on it? Kuba, Price, Jack, others, Kaisak. Cause a story is already in the past. In the past, okay? Because is this morning. Okay, this morning. Now we are in evening, so it's past. I think it's correct. No, it's not correct. Actually, you know why? Because when I was on a bus, when we use past perfect, it's that past perfect happened before it. So if we say it is correct, it means before I got on a bus, someone stole my bag. That doesn't match with the sentence. My bag had been stolen earlier this morning when, not before. When means during, when I was on a bus. So I was on a bus when someone stole my bag. So it happened at the same time. So we use was stolen is the best answer. My bag was stolen. Correct. Let's go 9. Jack. Oh, we have Jack here. So Jack was arrested by the FBI. Is it okay? Jack was arrested by the FBI. Jack has been arrested. So, okay, what's wrong? I mean, can we say was? Is it okay to say Jack was? Maybe we have different alternatives. Hmm? Yes, So this is correct. Jack was arrested by the FBI. We can say Jack is arrested, Jack was arrested, Jack has been arrested. It depends on the tense. 10. There had been an attempt for a car bombing, but hopefully it was defused by the bomb squad. Is it correct? There had been an attempt for a car bombing, but hopefully it was defused by the bomb squad. There was. There was an attempt. So let me ask you. Which happened first? The attempt for a car bombing or the bomb squad who defused it? Which one happened first? First, just answer this. Which happened first? The car bombing, the attempt for the car bombing, or no? The bomb squad who defused it. The attempt. Perfect. So something happened before something else. Attempt. Something happened before something else. So it's helping us. It's helping us to use past perfect. There had been an attempt for a car bombing, but hopefully it was defused. I mean, first they had the attempt. Then the bomber squad or intelligence, I don't know, security found it out and they defused it. It has been defused. That's why we say it was defused because it's past. If we can see the result or if we're talking something recently, yes. But typically because we have had been, we use was. 11. The pizza is eaten me. Oh. The pizza is eaten By me. Very good. That was easy, but funny. She was judged unfairly by the ordinary people whom she helped before. What about 12, the last one? So 10 is correct? Yeah, 10 is correct. Let me react like check. She was judged unfairly by the ordinary people whom she helped before. You have a noun clause here for the agent. So let's wait. 12 is correct too. I can't hear any sound. Are you sure? Well, check your settings. So she was judged by people whom she helped before. 12 is correct. Yes, 12 is correct. We can also say whom she had helped before. Because of before, it means first she helped them. After that, she was judged unfairly. We can say that. But both situations can be correct. She was judged whom she helped before. She was judged whom she had helped before. Okay? Is there any question you would like to ask? Kaisak says the match. Can I put unfairly after was? After she was unfairly what? She was unfairly judged? Yes, we can say that. We can say that. She was unfairly judged. Yeah, we can say that. So the match had already been abandoned due to rain, but after an hour later, it was resumed. So the match had already been abandoned due to rain, but after an hour, we can say that. Yeah. So do you have any questions? So actually our class is over. Thank you everybody for attending our class today. I hope you found it useful. That was the end of our today's class. Actually, if you're new, so I hope you liked that. And oh, that's interesting. Someone using my profile picture and name. Interesting. Okay, I should call him my hi, hello. So actually I was saying, yeah, what would the next topic? Well, we can talk about that. I haven't yet decided, but on Saturdays, every week on Saturdays, we're going to have our class, our grammar class. We will talk about a grammar topic and so on. What is this? What if I change the sentence to people whose she helped? No, whose she helped means like she owns the people. Like people own sheep. That's not okay. So people whom she helped means the people. We're talking about the people, not possession here. So thank you everybody. I hope you found it useful. If you have any question, you can ask it in my DMs. Otherwise, we can end this class. And actually, I will have my admin upload the recording of this class on my YouTube channel. So for tomorrow, probably, you can get access to the YouTube channel to watch the video. And again, you can check my website, englishwithnimafar.com, to download the PDF and plus the grammar of the week. Every week, I will talk about a grammar topic. It was amazing. Thank you very much, Pride. It's great to see you every week. What is the YouTube channel? Okay, wait, let me send you. This and YouTube channel on the website. So take care everybody. See you all next week. Hello everybody. Oh, Joy, you're a bit late, but it's fine. You can watch the recordings for tomorrow. But take care. If you have any question, ask me. And goodbye. Good night. Okay. Good night.